Okay. I think we got everything set up. Let me test to see if the stream is actually live. Yeah, seems like it is. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go over a few things. As far as news, financialjuice.com is not really showing any red folder events. That was at 8:30, but I don't see any significant news coming out. But you're just going to have to stay on top of that because we don't know when Trump is going to come in and say something or tweet something or do whatever. Um, but this right here, this is a trading strategy. What you can do is screenshot this and let's make sure everything is working. Yeah. So what you can do is screenshot this. This is a trading strategy, 2 minute sweet spot strategy. You can also do this for like a 1 minute. Like a long example for the NQ, VWAP is sloping up. Price pulls back to the VWAP. You have absorption. Large large green bubble is holding, and then you might have a stacked imbalance close above the stacked imbalance. That's key right there. And that stacked imbalance has to be 50% or higher. The location of it, 50% or higher on the candle from the candle high low, and enter on the break of the candle. Also, trading trapped buyers and sellers. What actually confirms a trapped buyer or seller? Well, it's aggressive buying and selling, failure to move price higher or lower. That is the key right there. If sellers hit with size and price cannot break lower, this is absorption. That's a trapped buyer or seller. Then right down here, like a long example would be a VWAP is sloping upwards. You have a 50 plus sell bubble appears. So if you have a 50 or plus sell bubble appears, I mean, it could be more than one, and then the price stalls. That's if we're moving upward and you have a sell bubble, and then the next candle fails to break new low. This is key. You have to make sure that trapped buyer or seller is not making a new high or low, and the delta is flipping, which means the delta is going up if you're going long, and then a break above the bubble high. This is the trapped seller confirmation. Basically, if we are trading upward and we get a pullback and you see a sell contract, let's say 50 or more, and then let's say you see a sell bubble. Let's say this was a sell bubble right here, and then we had a green candle that traded above it, and we didn't trade below. That is a trapped seller. So that's why you would do that. Now, hopefully I'll be able to show you some examples today. Uh, okay, so right here, I was just thinking about this. This right here, we have a sell imbalance right here. That's the sell imbalance, but they got absorbed because we closed above. So those more sellers than buyers, they got trapped a little bit. So, but I wouldn't trade this. For one, it's like 919, and also we're in a balance area. This right here, we kind of sold off. We sold off a little bit, and we're in a balanced area right now. The market likes to find value. It found value to the downside. Then it likes to trade around, search for more value, either up or down. Markets don't just continuously trade in a balanced consolidation area. Um, the order flow pulse is being worked on. I am hoping to get this released this week. I'm hoping to get it released this week for download. More than likely, it'll be, since it's Tuesday, it'll probably be towards the end of the week or Sunday at 6 p.m. You'll be able to download it. The order flow pulse, I kind of worked on this a little bit last night. The order flow pulse, this is the live pulse. And also, if you have a drop down, it goes to a minute. I'm going to, there's an issue with the minute not showing the resting orders for the ask, but I need to fix that because I did some code changes, a little refactor of code. But the live pulse shows this. This live pulse, these bubbles, it will get formed within 100 milliseconds. So 100 millisecond, any orders that come in within 100 milliseconds is going to be a bubble right there. And I just went on ahead and do 100 millisecond. I know Bookmap does the like really fine grained all the way down. That's not needed. The human being can't even react within 100, 200 millisecond. To be quite honest, I mean, you got professional gamers that might be able to react within 150 millisecond, but your average person cannot do that. That's why I just did the bubbles for 100 millisecond. And also, I updated it. So, with the live pulse, the actual resting orders up here, um, the red right here is resting orders. And then the blue is the bid resting orders. They kind of move with the bubbles being formed. So, I refactored the code a little bit, got that working. So, that's looking pretty decent. Let's take a look at the daily. We're at 922. Let's look at the daily. Right now, we are in a huge, you know how I say the market likes to find value? Well, we found value way to the upside, and then we have been in a balanced market since October. This is for a daily. It's just been going around, up, down, up, down, up, down. We are in a balanced market. If you look right here, that is a complete balanced market right there on a daily candle. Uh, so that is a balanced market for the daily. Now, what I'm thinking is, oh, that got moved. How did that get moved? Okay. Right now, we are selling off for today. We opened up here yesterday. We had bullish, and then Asian session, we kind of sold off, and we are right here at this support level right here. If we break this area, I'm thinking if we break 24,200, we could come down and test the 23,400. It could dump 1,000 points. Now, it can do that within one day. It can do that within a couple of days or a week. We have no idea. The market will do what it wants to do. But as you can see here, we opened up here and we closed down here, and that was like a 900-point move. So it can do it within one day. Let's take a look at the volume profile. The volume profile, I was wrong about the Asian session. We got movements. It's at 924. This is valid trade in during market hours. Like you have right here. Okay. All right. I don't know what happened. Uh, okay, and then we had a buy imbalance. That buy imbalance right there was good because it was half of the candle. Yours. Yeah, yeah. Somehow I got disconnected and reconnected. Guess we're good. Um, but I was wrong. We had like a nice P shape right here, and I thought it would be testing up here in the 25,400 area, but the Asian session we just kind of sold off, so that's not looking too good. So we've got about 4 minutes to the open. This was kind of a little wonky. Let's clear this out. Just go ahead and clear. I'm just going to clear that out. Yeah, there we go. Go ahead and clear that out. Oh, that ATR, that has not been released. That was just that was something that I threw up there. Um, I need to release that. What I'm going to do, what I've been thinking about doing is, when you're actually using the indicator right here, what I've been thinking about doing is having an option in the order flow bars to show, kind of like a, analysis thing where you can actually show it, and then you can show the ATR, the average true range, like in the upper right corner, you can show the average true range, and also it will tell you if we're above, below the VWAP, things like that. I just haven't coded that in yet, uh, but I will be getting that done. What my plans are to get, um, my plans are to get this order flow pulse. I need to get this working, pretty solid. It seems like it is working pretty good. The performance is pretty good. We're not lagging or anything. Uh, so my main thing is I want to get this out there because I think because a lot of people use Bookmap, and Bookmap is a fantastic platform. Uh, my main goal is to get this out to, like, in a beta phase, to get this out to people so they can just start using order flow pulse. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on, I can put like a data box up here and put like, the ATR and the VWAP, so you can just look at it and see. But the ATR for the volume profile, I haven't even compiled it and put it into anything. That was just on my local. Um, but the ATR is very important because right now we're at like 20 ATR, which is pretty reasonable. We got about a few seconds to the open. Um, let's see what happens. We got some resting orders down here for the bid. When we open up, also I changed it so like resting orders, you can change this to like 10. That will only show you the 10 resting orders. If you change it to 5, that'll show you more resting orders. Um, I have the bin set to 2, but you can set it to 1 if you want. Um, we're getting ready to open up here pretty shortly. And we are open. All right, I'm just going to bend this to 2. Um, we are open. I usually sit on my hands for the first 5 minutes. I usually sit on my hands. Don't do anything. Okay, so the resting orders, I'm going to bump this up to 10. So the resting order is going to be bumped up to 10. Minimum volume is 2. That seems pretty good. We got some persistent buying. We're running up to resistance up here at 24,600 where we have a huge sell order. As you can see, we have a huge sell order right up there. That was earlier. I was right up in there. That was around 350. We're breaking right through it. We touched the VWAP. The VWAP's at 623, 623, and we're kind of bouncing off of it. All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right back in a couple minutes. Alrighty. So we kind of moved up, then we're moving back down. Oh, sorry about that. I had to. Uh, yeah, I really would just sit on my hands first 5 minutes. To be quite honest, I mean, you could do an open and drive if you really wanted to. Since you have some persistent buying, you can probably try and catch that open drive. I normally don't do that just because it's kind of hard to do. They can reverse on you real quick. Um, Also, another thing, what I like to do, so this would be kind of hard to try and catch a long scalp right here because for one, we're below the VWAP, and second of all, you got these sellers up here. Then right up here, you had uh, a buy imbalance that got absorbed. You have yeah, so this is not ideal for me. Also, what I'm looking at is I always have a 5 minute chart right up here. I have a 5 minute chart and I have all the information right here on a 5 minute chart. Now, that 5 minute chart, I need to take out the persistent buying. I don't need to see that. I only need to see that on a 1 minute. Yeah, see, this would be kind of hard for me to. I mean, you could get yourself nice 20, 30 points. Um, we've got some pulse indicator. We definitely got some selling up in here. We're below the VWAP. Let me update this. Stacked persistence. Don't need that. Take that out. All right, we got some sellers up here. It could get. We gotta keep an eye on that. Those sellers could get trapped up in there. But we're right at the VWAP. You gotta be careful with that. We're right at the VWAP. We're above the VWAP. VWAP is 619. We're above the VWAP. This is a valid trade. I mean, I scalped it for not 40 points. Scalped it just for $40. I don't like that. It's not moving too much. It'll probably move without me, but yep. I just didn't like that doji candle. I can wait for a pullback. But if you hold that, that's a valid trade right there. But see, I just don't like the weakness right here, the top wick and the top wick right there. That's why I went on ahead. Once we got this pop right there, I just went on ahead and moved it to a couple points to a break even basically to stop me out. And then I got taken out for like $40. As you can see right there, $40. I mean, that's on a funded account. Uh, if you were playing this really good, you could have traded this. I mean, the VWAP is kind of sloping downwards, so I'm kind of a little leery. But if you traded this, you could have traded on the break of the high right here and probably try to get up here and get yourself about 10, 15 points, and you would have gotten a little bit more than me. But I just, I'm thinking we could be in a down market, but I could be wrong. just because what we're looking at, I'm looking at the 5 minute. See the 5 minute over here. I'm looking at a 5 minute, and with the 5 minute, what I'm looking at is we were above the VWAP and we had that 176, and then the delta that was kicking in was starting to go negative. You really have to pay attention to the delta when you're in trades like this. When you're in trades like this, and then I saw it pump. I mean, this is a philosophy, and it might be uh, that I gotten it from pre-market, selling these pre-market low float pump and dump pieces of crap. Is it has to pop or I drop. That was my motto motto back then. And I didn't stream or didn't do anything for the low flow pump and dumps. I just traded it with light speed on my own personal account, and they either had to pop or I drop. That was my motto, and I kind of brought this over to the Nasdaq. I've traded Nasdaq for over 10 years, so I've been trading Nasdaq. I trade Nasdaq futures longer than I've traded those low float pieces of crap with the pump and dumps for breaking news. And then I kind of brought it over to here. It's like, you have to pop or drop. So when we broke this, I was hoping that we could break above because we were trading above the VWAP. But once you start looking down here, here, and you see the delta and it's just sitting there and it's not doing anything, or it could be dropping, or if we're like at 100 delta and then it goes 75, 50, 25, I'm like, yeah, let me move up to a break even real quick. Because for me, and I know some people are going to think I'm wrong about this. For me, capital preservation is the most important thing. Uh, Even though I'm trading a Bullnox funded account, I got a couple of them activated out of 5 of them. Uh, that's just my motto: capital preservation. So I worked on the order flow pulse right here. I worked on it a little bit last night. We got some nice stuff. The minimum volume for the bubble right there, the minimum volume, we're coming down to support right there about 420 where those buyers were kind of round up in this area. So we would have to break through this 510, 24, 510 area right here before we start going lower, because this right here, you got to think about it. There was buyers right up in here. Okay. Not a lot up in here, just like maybe 30 contracts, but I would definitely keep an eye on this right here. And also that profile right there. We need to break through this to be able to start trading lower. We need to break through this before we start trading lower. But what I want to show you on the order flow pulse, of course, you can go to NQ, and the minimum volume for the bubble, let's say it's 5. Well, it has to be a 5 volume for that minimum bubble to even show up, and I have it set to 100 milliseconds. So I normally just set the minimum volume to 2. And the resting orders, I added that last night. The resting orders, let's say if we go to 5 resting orders, now you see a bunch more resting orders, okay? And if it's dark, that means there's not a whole lot. If it's shaded light, like the opacity is pretty high, uh, that means there's more resting orders in that area. And that's the resting orders. And then, but I have it set to 10 for the NASDAQ. And then the bin I just have, you can set that to 1. But I usually bend things because NQ trades kind of squirrely. I just used to go to like 2 or 4 for the bin. And a bin just means a tick merge. That's all it means. It's just merging 2 ticks. So we have to come down to this area and break this. I was hoping we could get these trap sellers, but it failed. We had a pop, and then I moved it to +2, hoping we'd get a run, but we didn't. I was hoping for a nice little run, but I was wrong. Yep, that is true. There's always trades and there might not be capital, but man, I hope we don't trade in another up, down, crazy market today. Come on, come on, come on. Do it, baby. Do it. All right. Got me out. Um, okay, so oh, come on. Oh, what's going on with my system? Uh, can you stop with it? Oh my word. All right, I'm up $340. I tried to show you guys, but for some reason this thing is trading not trading this thing. I don't know what's up. It could be I'm in cohesive mode. I just need to stop. All right, I'm up $340 on one of my funded accounts, and I'll show you why. All right. Um, yeah, this is hard for me to stream and actually trade at the same time. And there's no way, guys, that you're going to be able to follow me. It's not. This is not a signal service. I'm actually trying to teach people how to trade. Yeah. So this right here, I got in. The reason I got in is because it was like 46 right there, and then we had a stacked imbalance buy area. So I got in here, and then I got out right here for about 15 points. I mean, I could have been a $500 trade, but I wasn't thinking. I got a late entry, so I only got like 15 points. But I got a late entry because we had 40 right here. We had a buy and bounce right here. Now, the reason I started trailing up, and I kept it a really tight stop, and there's a reason why. This right here. There's a reason why I kept it a nice tight stop. We're going to be trading in the range because you got some large orders right here, and these are one contract orders that are kicking off. These are one contract orders that are kicking off. So that's 60. That's 60 lots in one execution. So, and then we got up in here. I don't know how many's up in here. I need to be trading off on Dom, but I want to be testing this order pulse indicator. I want to be testing that. To be honest, guys, I can code this. I can build this for you, but to be quite honest, I can't trade off of this. I don't know why. I just I never have traded off of it, but I can code it. I just can't trade it. Throw me on the Dom and I'll smoke that. Um, but the reason, all right, we're breaking down, we got to sell and balance. Don't be taking any orders because you got to be looking at the 5 minute. I mean, 37.72. I mean, you can do what you want. This is just for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're looking at a 5 minute chart, you got to be looking at this area right up in here about 5 o'clock right here. That right there is support area right there. You got 33, you got 37, 36. These are all buy where we had a nice auction going on, and then we started trading up. This is today. I think today is the day where see money, take money, and that's what I did. My first trade trying to get long, I got stopped out, only made $40, and the second trade was this one right here. We broke this. We came up here. I kept a tight stop. I kept a tight stop because we got all these orders. We got these large orders right here that we had to get through. We've got like 100, I don't know what that is, 184 lot and then a 31 lot, 176. That's one execution. That's one execution. That's an institution trading right there, more than likely. You don't have retail traders slinging around 100, 200 contracts. And if you do, it's probably some rich dude. But these aren't retail traders. A 35 a lot, that's a rich boy right there. Um, but that's just one execution. I need to code in order slicing because these institutions, they just don't go always into big contracts. They do order slicing. Instead of doing 100 lot, one execution, try to get one execution, they'll do 10 volume 10 times. And they'll do it within like 500 milliseconds or something. And we're not privileged to the trade IDs. I wish we would because it'd make my life easier. But you gotta be a big boy to get that. I wouldn't take this. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I made my $300 in my one funded account, $340 in my one funded account. I am done with that one. Let me switch over. Um, it's 10 minutes to 10. Let me switch over what we have here. Let me switch. I need to get a trade day in account 52. But let me, I just need to get a trade day in there real quick. Let me see what we can do. That account, I might, what's the ATR at? ATR, holy smokes, people. The ATR is at 43. You better size down. You better size down. ATR is 43 points. This thing is trading like a squirrel hyped up on a gallon of Red Bull. The average true range for 1 minute is 40 points. Yeah, 43.7. You better size down. I know I am. I'm sizing down on this one. I don't like this. I don't like this at all because we have some buyers right here to rein it up. We got sellers up here. They kind of rein it down. I got in between and I broke one of my stinking rules right in between here. I broke it, but I made money. Man, I am stupid for doing that. I haven't been thinking here lately. This is right in the middle of a balanced market right here. We up, down, and I took a trade right in the middle of a balanced market. That is idiotic. Thank goodness I kept that stop kind of tight. I don't know what I was thinking. What I don't like is this wick right here. We have persistent buying right there. We had this wick right here. We've got on the map right here. Here, let me switch this to 5. Minimum volume 5. There's too many little small bubbles. Oh, that's another setting. Before I release the order flow pulse, what I need to do is get the bubble settings so you can resize the bubbles so you can make them larger. Right now, these bubbles, it depends on how many trades are being taken. Like this small bubble way up here, that small bubble way up there, that was kind of not so much of a trade. And you'll have a big bubble like the red. You can't see right there, but the bigger the bubble, the more volume it is. And another thing that I'm looking at is, okay, right here, you see how the opacity is, whoa, see, yeah, 55 lot, we got big bubble right there. Not 55 lot, I'm sorry. We've got 55 orders right there for that bubble. We got some resting asks up there around 556. We got 524. We got some rest. Yep, they got filled about 35 volume. But what, and this right here. Okay, that real light opacity for the cell, that's not a lot of delta. Okay, when you see a real dark red, that means more delta. Like right here, that green light delta, that real dark green, that means there's more delta. That means there's a lot of delta. It kind of goes off of the delta. So I'm shading these bubbles to how much the delta is. If it's low delta, it's going to be a low opacity. Okay, almost like you can see through it. If it's high delta, it's going to be pretty solid. If it's kind of in between, then that's kind of like mediocre delta. I don't think Bookmap has that. At least that's what AI told me. And you know they lie through their stinking teeth like a politician. Um, but that's what I have here. I need to resize the bubbles. We have resting orders at 516. Um, we get resistance up in here around. Yeah, not much. You see how this is dark. You see how the sitting bids are kind of dark. That means there's more. Yep. See, they just got filled. There's more of them. Right down here is kind of light. There's not so many people sitting on the bid down there. And what I need to do is right here, I need to make another column. And then I need to get the forming bubble padding out a little bit to the left. I need to make another column. So when you have a large resting order, let's say you have someone sitting on the bid at like a 100 lot, it's going to show up in like a pill um, form, kind of like the DOM, and it's going to say like 100. Um, I don't know if I can see. I don't think it goes off of. No, I can't do that. But it'll just say it'll just sum up the bid. It'll just sum up the bid and just be like 100. We don't know if that's like 10 different orders or if it's all one. We don't know. I don't think I can get that information. I wish I could. That would be seriously nice. But we're not privileged. We're retail traders. We're piss ants. Hate to say it. You and I are just little piss ants in the market. Uh, we got that 30 lot that got absorbed. Gotta be careful about breaking down because you got, if you look at this is my 5 minute that I'm looking at. Okay. I don't know why it does this. I think it does that when I'm running parallels. I'm in cohesive mode. Um, we've got a 72 lot right here that kicked off around 920. So we have this right here, 37 and a 72. Plus, if you look at that, we have to break through all this right here. So we have to trade through that until we get down in here. I like putting up a 5 minute chart off to the side. I need to do a video maybe tonight of showing how I have everything set up. I mean, you might be able to trade off of the. Yeah, so we have this area right here. No, we could be breaking this little consolidation area right here. But what the market can do sometimes, it will break down and then come right back into the balance area. And when it starts doing that, if it starts peaking out, you need to look at the delta and also like the speed. Let's say it just comes down here to 460, and then within 5 seconds, it runs back up into the balance mode. That's telling you the speed of it doing that. That's telling you that these buyers are pushing it up. But if it comes down here to like 460, 450, and then it just trickles up back into that area, that's not very strong. Kind of like that. That's telling you there's people propping it up. You got people propping it up. Um, I got lucky so far this morning. I made 340 bucks in that one funded account. I've switched over. I still got the ATR. ATR is 39. I'm still sizing down. ATR is 39. I'm in my, well, let me check to make sure I'm in there. No, you're not. What account is this? 51, 52. Yeah, I need to be in 52. Count 52. Where are you? Count 50. Okay. So my funded account 51, that I'm up $340. I'm not going to give that money back. So I'm just swapping over to another funded account. If I can try and get something good, I will. But right now we are in chop mode. This is chop fest, people. We got this area right here. That is resistance right there. We got this area right here that's kind of support, and we kind of peaked below it. So we're kind of trading in this area. We could sell off and go down. Um, I'm sizing down. I normally trade the minis, but I'm sizing down to the micros because it's a 40 ATR. I don't know what I was thinking this morning. I got lucky. That's what I was thinking. Um, 40 ATR. I'm sizing down to the micros. You can trade 4 or 5 micros, 2 or 3. Um, ATR is a little too high for me to be messing around with the minis. You can if you want. If you want to try and pass something or try to get your funded account, way up there. But my funded account, I'm about halfway to the payout zone on that one account. I'm about halfway, so I'm not screwing with it. Um, that's just how I trade. I don't I don't swing for the fences. We might get some runners, which I tried right here. I tried up in here to get that runner, and it only gave me $40 because it came back down and said, "Nope, I'm wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I want to go down." So that's just kind of what you have to look at. Right there, we had a sell and balance area. The reason I wasn't too giddy about this right here is because we had a sell and bounce right here when we moved up. Then you got that 120 lot. So, and you're kind of in consolidation mode. I need to see confirmation that we're going to be going lower. To be quite honest, and we're not going to be chopping around. But we don't know what could happen today. Yeah, so the sellers got absorbed. That's why I wasn't too crazy about this. Sell and bounce with persistent selling moved up. We got a 120 lot that kicked off. You got wicks up here, wick right here. Yeah, and then we got sell, persistent selling, and then we got a sell and balance. It closed lower. That was nice. Uh, but I'm not too crazy about it. And then looks like they're trying to push it down more. What you probably really want to see is like a 200 lot kick off right here, and then you can use that as support if you want to try to get short. You got to wait for like a 200 lot and then try to go for it, or you can wait for a large buyer to come in to get trapped, and then we're not we didn't break the high, and then you can trade off of that and try to go short and get it and try to uh, catch a buyer on the wrong side. Um, Well, this is kind of slow. Let's take a look at why I actually took this trade. I'm going to tell you why I should not have taken that trade is because we're right in the middle of a balance area. And that was kind of stupid of me to take a trade right in the middle of a balanced area right here. We got down, up, down, and I was right in the middle. That's I broke a rule, but it's a valid trade if it wasn't in this balanced area. And are we going to sell? Come on. You got resting orders down in here about 450. About 450, you got resting orders right here. So it's about halfway right up in this area. You got some resting orders right there. Yeah, this is not a very good day. Second day that's kind of crappy. Let's just I'm not going to say that. Let's From my experience of trading futures and stocks, I've been trading futures for 10 years, mainly the ES and the NQ. I tried to trade crude oil, but I suck at it. Tried to trade bonds, I suck at that. So I just went back to the ES and NQ. The ES and NQ, the futures, they do not like uncertainty in the world. What I'm talking about is we got this conflict with Iran that's going on. We don't know what's going on. So, in the market, these institutions like Citadel, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, all these big boys, all the big dogs, they do not like uncertainty in the market. So they're not going to be playing very much because when they play, they can lose like quarter a million, $500,000 in a matter of like 30 seconds. So they either make it or lose it in like 30 seconds, but they don't like uncertainty in the market. And right now, with this Iran stuff going on, and this is just my opinion, it's uncertainty in the market of what's going on. So yesterday, we kind of ran up, and I was like, wow, and then we just bounced, just kind of traded around all day. But these institutions don't like uncertainty in the market or uncertainty in the world. They like it nice and calm, predictive. So they probably don't have their algos running. Who knows? Well, they got their real high frequency trading algos running. But the reason I took this trade is because, for one, we had a 46 lot at kickoff. That was good. That was at the top. It wasn't at the bottom, and then we closed up above. It's at the top. I like taking signals that are take the high and the low, and then the half of that. You get a signal, 46 lot kicked off, and you got a buy and balance that's above 50% of the high of the low from the candle. And then you go, and then this low of this candle did not start trading way down here, and then we moved up. That's a little So we held that buy and balance area. So when we broke this area, I got in for about 15 points. If I would have been quick on the trigger, I probably could have made up here. It was about right. You're not going to get the top. I'm not. You're not going to pick the top. But what I did not see, and this is why I kept my stop really tight. What I did not see, and this is the key thing that a lot of traders forget, is they look for stuff like this, and they're like, okay, good, great, valid signal, boom, and we move up. But what is lacking in this candle right here? This candle that I was in, and we ran up. What's lacking is persistent buying. I did not see them ticking up the tape. When I'm talking about persistent buying, my persistent buying is set to 3 and 10. So when it's set to 3 and 10, it has to tick up 3 times. It has to tick up, tick up, tick up. It cannot tick up, and then tick down. That's invalid. It has to tick up 1, 2, 3, and in each 3 ticks, it has to be a minimum volume of 10. So I'm seeing a lack of persistent buying. So I just kept my stop kind of tight. Plus, up in here, I knew we had to break through this area. So I kind of kept it tight a little bit because we weren't breaking through this area and the delta, there was no delta surge. And when I'm talking about a delta surge, I'm talking about if you're down here at like 60 delta, let's say you were at 60 delta, and then all of a sudden it goes from 60 to 100 to 100, 100, 150. I mean, that's a delta surge. The delta is surging. You see how this delta is just slowly ticking to 60, 54, 68, 67. Okay, negative 15. I mean, if it surges to like negative 50, negative 75, you got some uh, sellers coming in here. So, and when I'm in a trade, I like to look at the delta. See, we had a a little small delta surge right there from like 40 to 80. Now you can see this in the DOM pretty good, and actually you can see this in the order flow pulse. Kind of, you see how those bubbles that was dark. That was delta. That was delta. That bubble right there. That's kind of opacity is really light. That's small delta, but then you had a real dark green. That's high delta, high positive delta. That's why I coded that in there for the order flow pulse, is that right there. Now, that 32 volume right there, right up in here, it was high delta, but right up in here, we had some resting orders up here on the ask side, and we just kind of trickled back down. But yeah, see, we had a little delta surge right there, a little solid green. That's a delta surge. Yeah, we got some nice delta surge right there. Boom, boom, boom. That's what you want to see. You want to see the pace of it go up. Now the bubbles are created within 100 millisecond. Yesterday I had it like 250 milliseconds, which is a quarter of a second. Now Bookmap does it kind of really good. Now, all right, right here we got a buy and balance, but and then persistent buy-in. You want to see this close above there. This is a 1 minute candle. You want to see it close above there. We got a 120 lot right there. They're going to defend that, and they'll probably just do a little order slicing and just kind of push it back down a little bit. Who knows? Yeah, see, we got some large volume up in there. I saw a little bit. I wish I could try to spread these out a little bit so I could see it. And I need to put in a setting. Okay, so we had persistent buying. We couldn't break through that 120. You see that right there? That right there on that the bubble profile right here. We kind of broke through it a little bit, but just couldn't get it. And then we kind of large wick right there. That's bearish to me right here. That's bearish. It means they want to keep this market pushed down. It's like 1013. I don't know. Uh, my funded account, $340 is what I might get today. Oh well, it is what it is. Uh, $340, I guess, is all I'm going to get for today. Uh, yeah, right there, $340. Let me see if I can. Oh, you did it again, you little wacky thing. Um, yeah, that's all I'm going to get today in my funded account. BX-M51. I've got two funded. I got five funded accounts, but I've only activated two of them. And I'm over on my second funded account, but I'm on a micros. Let's check the ATR real quick. ATR is 42. Is that correct? Why is it? Yes. Oh wow. This is some big movement today. Doesn't seem like it, but this consolidation is some big moves. We got we got those large fires right there. They're holding that area. We kind of ran down here. We got this large sellers up in this area right here. They're going to defend that. As you can see here, when I was in this trade, we came up here and we just kind of trickled back down. Um, Here's a large wick right there. Large wick right there with the 120 lock kicked off. We got a wick that pushed down. We got a wick that pushed down. Wick that pushed down. Yeah, I'm not taking any longs. No longs for me. For me to go long, we need to break 640. For me to go long, we need to break this area right here. In order for me to go long, we need to break this area right here. We need to trade up. And then I need some large participation or a large trap seller with a green candle, large trap seller with a green candle, and then try to catch a little short squeeze a little bit and try to get that. That's what I'm looking for in order to go long. I'm not seeing that, so I ain't going long. I tried to go long twice this morning, made 40 bucks and made 300 bucks on one mini contract. So I'm looking for shorts, but there's no shorts. There's no setup for shorts. There's nothing going on. No. What I'm trying to do. Oh, wait a minute. I was wrong. Okay. This is a trading strategy that I use. It looks like we're trying to sell off right here. Uh, this is a trading strategy that I use 2 minute sweet spot strategy. You can use a 2 minute. You can use this off of 1 minute. 2 minutes is really nice because algos control the 1 minute. They really do. They control the 1 minute. So take a screenshot of this. There's a video. I have a video out there, and then I show some of examples of it. But this is what we're looking for: trading trapped buyers and sellers. What actually confirms trapped aggressive buying and selling? Failure to move price higher or lower. If sellers hit with size and price cannot break lower, that is absorption. Trapped seller. Um, we got a 37 lot that kicked off. That ain't very much, to be quite honest. Um, and we're at 48. I've switched to micros, but might not even get that. We need to break through. And I'm not even going to try and take this short because look at this. We've got on the heat map right here. We got some resting orders that were right here. We got resting orders that were right here. So I don't know if I should. We got 67. Oh, we got 230. We got. This is what you want to see. You got large participation, 238 lot that kicked off. Um, that's what you want to see. You want to see participation. You want to see participation in the market. We need to move lower. If we don't move lower, we try to get in on the break of that. And if we trade higher on the previous candle, that's probably where my stop would be. We need to trade lower. If we don't start trading lower, so the delta, you see, it's -18. We need a delta surge to like -40, -50. We need a delta surge to kick off. We need a delta surge. We got 50 delta. We got 76 delta. Persistent buying coming in. A seller needs to step in. You had a 238 lot kick off. That seller needs to step in and smack the crap out of that buyer. What are you waiting for, seller? Nail his butt. Teach him a lesson. Teach them a lesson there, boys. Nope. You want to see large participation like that, but nothing's going on. Come on there, seller. You got persistent buy-in. You've got a trapped and balanced buy area right up here. So for this candle right here, let me come over here. For this right here, if you got in right here, you have a 230 lot for support. So you got this support. If you start breaking this area, you need to start seriously thinking about getting out. Because if you don't, we could run all the way back up here for like 50 points. So if you get in here, you had persistent buy-in right there. This is a little spinning top, little doji candle. We couldn't break through here, so that's good. Then you had some buy-in balance. We can't break through here. So when we broke this, you realistically would have been in on this candle right here. Once we broke this area, get in, your stop's up here. So that's about a 20-point stop. Okay. So if you get in here, what happened was you had persistent buy-in, didn't pay off. Persistent buy-in. Then they stacked buy-in balance that did not participate. No participation from the buyers. That buy and balance got trapped and we sold off, and now we're down here at about 22 points. So right now you got a 1-for-1. If you got in on this on the 230 lot, like I said earlier, if we start selling off, I need to see large participation. That 37 lot, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's like institutions that's nothing for them. 238 lot, that's pretty significant. So when you see a 238 lot, you need to get in. You get in on the break of that. You put your stop up here, up in this area, because if we get past them, we're going to go right back up into this balanced area right here, more than likely. But we had some buyers come in, which I kind of figured we would, and then we're coming back down. Now, see, this is what I want to see. Right here, we had large sell right. You got large sell order right there. There's large selling right there around 5:30 in the morning. Okay, that right there is support right there for you. So if we start trading above that, you just got to take your profits. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Take your profits. Okay. If you're in that, you need to be taking your profits. If you start trading above that. So like right now, I would be selling half and moving and moving my stop. Maybe maybe sell half and sell some and try to get a runner, because we could just come right back up. We could bounce off of here and then come back down. The thing is, if you got in this trade, and this is a valid trade, because like I said earlier, if we're going to break this area, I need to see a large participation of a seller for me to get in. You can rewind the live stream, and I'm sure I said that. 238 lot, that's significant persistent selling. So when you get a break of this on this candle, when you get a break of that on this candle right here, and you're down here and you're making 30 points and you're not paying yourself, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're in multiple contracts, go ahead, scale a little bit off and move yourself to a break even. That's what I did. When we came down here and we started coming down here, you pay yourself a little bit, and then you move your stop to a break even, try to get yourself a runner. Now, because we're trading at 40 points, I'm not trading minis, I'm trading micros, because I scaled down. I had to scale down. I mean, we're at 33 ATR. Said ATR, I could probably think about jumping back up to the minis. Now this would have been a really good trade for me for the minis. I mean, that would have been like a $400 in that other funded account. That would have been great. That would have been a $700 day for me. That would be good. You don't need to be making $1,000 a day, folks. You know, these gurus that tell you, "Oh, I made $5,000 a day." Whatever. Whatever. See what I'm talking about? You pay yourself a little bit right here. You pay yourself a little bit and you move, and then you move up. You pay yourself to give yourself some money, pay yourself, put some money in the bank, pay yourself, move to a break even, maybe a break even plus five. Okay? Get yourself a runner. When you start seeing participation come back in, if this buyer right here, I think it's the 35 lot, if this buyer, plus it looks like we have persistent buying coming in, if this buyer starts trading above here and we start pushing back up, you got to pay yourself even more. But you should have a runner. This is not a signal service. I'm trying to teach you how to trade because if I'm not around, you need to be able to make money. Okay, on the 5 minute, you could have traded off of 5 minute. If you like trading off 5 minute, that's good. See right here on this 5 minute, you had a 238 lotter. What was that right there? That 238 lot. You had 238. Right here, you had that buy imbalance. That buy imbalance, this is a 5 minute chart. That buy imbalance got absorbed and we started trading down. So right now, if you got in this and you saw that 72 lot and you took your money at 40 points, that's great. For a mini, that's a $800 day. If you make $800 and if you make $800 in a account, you need to switch to another account and trade that one. Do not give that $800 back. If you're only trading one account, then shut the computer down and go and go do something. You got to be disciplined because if you're not disciplined, the market's going to spank your ass and put you to bed. I've been trading futures for 10 years. I've gotten my butt spanked so many times. It's like I'm done with it. There's an old saying: bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. Do not be a pig. So earlier I said if we break this and we start selling off, I need to see large participation. That 37 right there, the 37 lot is not large participation, but that 238 is definitely large participation. So let's think about this. Um, let's think about this. Let's think about this. If you're in this trade right here, so auction market theory again, searching for value, balance market up here. It's searching for value. The value of the NASDAQ is down right up in here. What could happen is we could consolidate. It's 10:30. We can consolidate for a few minutes. We could consolidate for an hour. We have no idea. But right now, there's participation going on back and forth between the buyers and sellers. Now, there's more selling than buying, or these sellers could be covering. We have no idea what's going on. Only the big boys have that privilege. From what I know, these institutions know what each other are doing. They can see their orders. Uh, so it's. I would love to have an interview with a someone that actually know that is in the market and knows what they're talking about. Whoa! Look at that. That is a delta surge. Okay. Did you see that delta? And then all of a sudden it surged up. That's a delta surge. That could be that 238 lot that came down here in the 124 and be like, you know what? I'm going to pay myself a little bit. And it pops up and then be like, okay, we'll just keep pushing it down. We don't know. So, large participation, that's what you want to see. I said if we break down, we need to see large participation. That 37 lot is not large participation. I think I said I need to at least see 100. We got 238. That's good for me. We got a little spinning top, little doji candle right there. We get a break of that and we move down. Here's the thing. We get a break of that, we move down. We get a break of that, we move down to here. You get yourself about 30 points. Okay. Good. Pay yourself. Move to a break even. Now you're in the consolidation area. You need to be tightening stuff up. I'm already completely out. I mean, I got into the trade, took a little bit, and I'm completely out right here. Once I start seeing these buyers come in, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done with it. I'm not a pig. I'm not going to get slaughtered and give back profits. I've learned too much in my years of trading this little squirrely market. We're at 31 ATR. I've learned my lesson quite a few times. I will pay myself. If I can only pay myself $300 for the day, fine, I'll move on. If I can pay myself $2,000 for the day, great. I'm happy. I move on. Am I going to expect that again the next day? No. What I'm expecting is to either lose money or break even. If I walk away with a profit, I'm happy. But you got to think about this. This move right here, if we okay, let's say this 238 lot right here. This 238 came in, let's say they're in the market right here. If they come back up into this area right here, that's 60 points. Okay. And think about this. Even Citadel, BlackRock, and Goldman, yeah, they got billions, but they don't want to be sitting there losing $500,000, $1 million. No. And also those traders that are sitting there trading uh, when they're trading these futures, yes, they might have an algo turned on that a software engineer developed, and then you have traders. These algos are not just sitting there turning themselves on and just trading whatever. These large institutions, you have a software engineer that is working with other traders. And those other traders are controlling that algo. They will turn it on and it will get turned on and it will do its thing. And when when the conditions are not right, they will turn it off. So you have traders in there. They might not be clicking the button and they daggone sure are not looking at charts like us. Some of them are looking at a DOM for execution. But you got to think about this. You've got 238 lots. Okay. A 1 point move. A 1 point move is $2,380. That's peanuts. Okay. But for a 50 point move, that's $119,000. That's $120,000 in a 50 point move. So 238 lots down here, and you make 50 points, which they did run, like down here. Let's say down here, like 50 points. It's $120,000 being made. For them, 120 for the trader that's probably managing the futures contracts for this, $120,000 day, they probably just getting started. They're probably just getting started. $128,000 is like you and I making like 120 bucks. They just getting started. I don't know if I'm going to get any more trades. How many trades did I take? I, okay, I took one trade, made 40 bucks. Took another trade, made 300 bucks. Took this trade, made money. Yeah, I didn't make as much money on this short because I sized down. I didn't trade my mini. I sized down to a handful of micros because the ATR was kind of high. So I flipped over to a handful of micros. Um, so I sized down. So an ATR, right here I have a 1 minute ATR. ATR stands for average true range, and off of a 1 minute, and that says 32. Now, my philosophy is if you are trading an average true range means each 1 minute candle for an average, I have it set to 14 periods. So for 14 minutes back, it takes the high and low of that candle and it will give you an average for 14 candles. And right now, the average move for a 1 minute candle we're looking at right now is 31 points. So the average is that means when you get in, let's say you buy a contract and you get in with the average range that you can expect is like 30 points up or down. You might get a little consolidation right here, then it'll move down. Like this candle right here, from the top here to the bottom there was 29. From here to here was 31. So that was just the average true range. Now, what I like to do is when it's below 30, I will trade the minis. I will trade the big boy contracts, not a problem. When it starts getting up there like 35, 40, I will not do that because I know this market can slam down very quickly. And you got to think a 30-point move on a mini contract, a 30-point move is $600 made or lost right there. Now, if you make it, that's awesome. But if you lose it, you're behind $600, and that puts your psych- psychological thought. You're already negative, so your thinking is bad right now. You're like, oh man, I need to make $600 just to break even. But if you traded a couple micros, then it only might be like maybe $100 loss. Okay, that's not a problem. And that's why when my philosophy is if we're above 30, I will start thinking about sizing down. If we're above 40, I really need to size down. Now, I was kind of crazy this morning because I was trading at 48 ATR and I was trading the minis when I should have sized down and been trading 4 or 5 micros because the ATR is so high because it moves so fast. Um, and when ATR is 50, I don't even trade. I won't even trade. That's too volatile for me. I will not trade. I will not participate because I like to grind accounts up, not smoke them down or smoke them up or down. I don't like doing that. You really need to know what the ATR is. You can easily just go to indicators up here. I'm going to create one to put up in the top right. But you go to ATR right here, average true range ATR. The period, you probably want to set it to 14. Input series, you got to go on the close on the bar close. Okay, so the 14 period, that's just default. That will tell you the average range from the high and low for the past 14 minutes, for the past 14 period. They'll give you the average true range of a 1 minute candle. And you need to adjust your size off of that. Right now, we got some resistance up in here because you got to think about this on a 5 minute chart. I'm looking at a 5 minute chart. I'm looking at a 5 minute chart right here. So we have some buyers right here. I didn't want to go long just because, well, the VWAP is sloping down. So if you're a new trader, and you see the volume weighted average price, the VWAP, and we're trading below it, and the VWAP is sloping down, and you're trying to catch longs to get a 50, 100 point runner, you're counter trend trading, and you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing. Um, for a new trader, VWAP is sloping down. We're below the VWAP and it's sloping down. I would seriously only be looking for shorts. Now you might have to sit here for 2 or 3 hours to get one or two trades. That's fine, but you got to be disciplined to sit there. You can't just be clicking a button and hoping you get a 50 point runner. You better make sure you know what you're doing, and you got to have a plan. And before you click that button to get in, where are you getting out? And if you're getting out at like a $200 loss, are you okay with that? And if you are, click that button. See, right now, I mean, I took a long up here on that 46, and then I came up here. But once we came up and we kissed the VWAP, I just really tightened up my stop, and then I got stopped out, and that's when I made like $300. I was like, okay, and then I was like, okay, we're looking to go down. If we break this area right up in here, we got large participation right here. You really don't want to try to trade right up in here at this 93 and try to catch a short. I mean, you can, but if you do that, you got to really be tight with the stop. And if we trade up here, you got to be disciplined and get out. If you did get out, you took a small loss, that's fine, but then you made it back on this trade right here, and you caught yourself a nice short. But the reason I just didn't like this area right here is because we're just consolidation right up in here. It's just not all that good. Okay. Earlier, when I said I need to have large participation to go short, and that 238 was that large participation. You could have gotten in on that 37 and got yourself in early, maybe one contract. And once you see that 238, you can add to it. And that's another thing. Cut your losers and add to your winners. If you do that, you will be good. Let's say you're in two micros, okay, on that 37, and then you see that 238 and we broke the low, add to it. Don't be adding 4 because then you'll be, yeah. But you need to add, it's called cost average. If you enter at the 237 right here, let's say you enter at 462 and then you enter again, and let's say at 442, your average, let's say 2 contracts here and your 2 contracts here, your average is in between that. That's what your cost average is. And you really need to know when you do that, you need to look at NinjaTrader. You need to go to positions, and you need to have that average price column up there. You need to make sure that's there. And when you're adding to your winners, you need to know what your average cost is. Now, if you're chart trading, that line will go ahead and adjust and tell you and let you know what your average price is. You got some traders that market will sell off here, they'll buy, it sells off here, they'll buy again, it sells off, they'll buy again, then they come up here and then they try to take profits. They just cost average down. That's a good way to blow an account. So like right here, that 37 lot, you could have gotten in on that. You come down, you got that 238 and you see that 238 and you break that low, you could have added to it and your cost average would be right in between that, and then boom. And then if you trade micros, you got 2 contracts here, 2 contracts here, and you take micro, and then you get yourself to let's say you're in between here, and you get yourself down here, and you start and you start trading right back up here, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take my 50 points. I'm gonna sell 2 contracts. Okay, well on one contract, 50 point on a micro, one contract that's $100. Okay. Okay, so you got $2 times 50, that's $100 right there for one contract. Times 2, you got $200. So you can so you scaled in and then you scale out. You pay yourself right here. Pay yourself a couple $100. You got 2 other micros. You move them to a break even. Let's say you start trading up above this right here. You sell a micro and you leave 1 micro for a runner. So that 1 micro for a runner, boom, right here, and you start seeing this large participation of the buyers right here, and you start getting out right here. That's 70 points. That's $140 on 1 micro. Let's say you make 200, another 100, that's 300. You make yourself between $400 just trading micros because the ATR is too high and you need to size down. Instead of trading one big boy contract and you take a little bit of heat and you get scared and you get out. If you're in a trade and you're scared and it starts trading and you start losing 100, 200, 300, and you're like, I don't know, then that means you're in too much and you need to size down. But so many people want to pass these evals. Oh, I want to pass in 1 day. I want to pass in 2 days. I want to pass. No, there's streamers out there that will do that for you. What I'm trying to do is just teach you how to trade. What I'm trying to do is actually teach you where you can take these prop firms and do what I do. Take the money from these funded accounts, pass an eval, take that money, activate a funded account, take that funded account, make some money, and put it into a personal account. And once you start taking consistent payouts from a funded account, you start taking consistent payouts, you've already got a personal account. Then you can start trading micros with that and make yourself $100, $200 a day. And you don't have to worry about these BS rules with the prop firms that are designed to make you fail. So what I'm trying to do is trying to teach you how to trade the order flow of the market. I'm not teaching how to read footprint charts and all that. That will come in the future. I am looking into building out my own uh, candlestick for footprint. I don't like how NinjaTrader does it. And in the very long term, if I can get support from these indicators and I got some decent support coming in, my long term goal is to build my own order flow trading platform. But that's a huge endeavor. So, what's the ATR? ATR is 33. I mean, you're trading micros. You just need to understand when you're taking heat, 1 micro at 30, you need to understand that like that's $120 because you've got 1 micro, you got 30 times 2, that's $60. And let's say you're trading 2 of them, that's $120. So you really, I wouldn't take this. I mean, we kind of came up, we're kind of selling off, we're kind of breaking this area right here from the past. We had a large seller before, but we had a 50 lot seller that kind of took a little bit of heat, but they got support right there at 238. Then it came back down. But what you need to understand is you got to map this out. Here's a support area for shorts right here. This is the support area. This area right here, we need to break through. Now you have more sellers than buyers. Granted, you have more sellers than buyers down there of these large orders. You got more sellers than buyers because you can see right there on that little bubble profile histo. Uh, uh, bubble. the bubble profile, you can see there's more sellers. That's fine. But you got the buyers up there that kind of push the market up. That's what you have to look at. So now what we have here at 9:30, we kind of shot up here, and we kind of ran back down. The VWAP is sloping downwards. So I'd only be looking for shorts, and we're just kind of ping ponging around. That's why people are be like, "Oh, we're not moving anywhere." Well, we just did move. We just did a move. We moved from here to here for 100 points. We just did a move. Now, as a trader, some people will be like, "Well, I want to get here and get out here and make myself 100 points." Well, that's fine and dandy if you can do that. From my experience from years of trading futures is I'm not looking to get the whole piece of the pie. I'm looking to get a portion of the pie. I'm looking to get a piece of the pie from here to here and make yourself 50 points. I'm not looking for the whole move. I'm looking for a piece of the pie. That's all I want. It's just a piece of the pie. Let the big dogs eat and then you pick up the crumbs. Let the big dogs eat, follow the big dogs, pick up the crumbs. You can make a decent living eating crumbs from the big dogs. That's my philosophy. Let the big dogs eat, and then you pick up the crumbs. The 238 big dog, let them eat. Once they are like, okay, I want more, and we start breaking down, you get this move from here to here. You get yourself a move, you pay yourself. You don't let it retrace and you don't let a winner turn into a loser. Let the big dog eat, pay yourself. Uh, let the big dogs eat. Let the big dogs eat. And I know there's so many people out there right now that were like, I made 500, made 1,000. I want to keep going. No, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. Just be done for the day. I know I am. Just be done for the day. I made a little bit of money. Just move on. Tomorrow might even be a better day. Who knows? Yesterday was kind of blah. Today was, eh. I'm up in both funded accounts. I'm fine with it. Am I up like $1,000 on each of them? No. Do I care? No. I take what the market gives me for the day. The market will tell you how much you're going to make or lose. If the market tells you, I'm only going to give you a few $100, take it. Be done for the day. Tomorrow we could step in tomorrow and we could have a 100-point winner and make $1,000 day. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, heck, I've made $2,000, $3,000 in a day. That was awesome. Do I expect it? No. I'm happy when it comes about. I'm happy when it comes about. So the market tells you a story, like I say. The market tells you a story, and you have to read that story. Right now, we have some participation right here, and then right here, up in this area, we've got a lack of participation. The big dogs ain't battling out, ain't nothing going on. But what I do see, this candle right here, this nice green candle, we had a stacked sell imbalance. They got absorbed. Boom, moved up. Buy imbalance. They got absorbed and kind of closed down up in here. We got nothing going on. We got a bunch of wicks going on. We got a nice red candle right there. We have a 50 lot seller right there that got absorbed and we kind of moved up. I would not take that long because, for one, you got this 230 lot sitting up there and people can't break through. And then right here, you have a sell imbalance, double stack, double sell imbalance right here. Okay. From like 400, 4x, four times more sellers than buyers. And it's three levels. So you got six levels right there of sell imbalance, and they got absorbed right here. This just tells me that the buyers and sellers are getting absorbed on both ends. You have a buyer up here with a huge wick that went down. Nice green candle up here. We have a buy imbalance, but when it closed way below. So that buy imbalance of 4x more buyers and sellers at three stack levels. I mean, that got absorbed. All them buyers up there, more buyers than sellers, they got absorbed and we're moving down. So this is just telling me that they're getting absorbed on both ends. And what that's telling me is to stay the heck away. I don't care if I see a delta surge and this thing's popping back up. I don't care if we see a 200 delta surge. Right now we're at 272. We were pretty low and then we just popped up. As you can see right there on the order flow pulse, you see those nice big solid green circles. That's nice big delta. That was a nice delta surge. That's why we surged up here about 270. And look what's happening to them. They're getting absorbed. It's like the rest of the past history from 1035 to now. Take it slow and trade slow. Like Mike Bellaforte at S&B Capital, he has a book out there. I think it's called One Good Trade. You need to read that book. It talks about stocks, but you can put it into anything: crypto, stocks, futures, whatever, forex. One good trade a day. That's really all you need. Just one good trade a day. Sit here for 3 4 hours, 3 hours, from like 8:30 to 11:30, and look for one good trade. That's all you need. One good trade. Now, this one good trade was at 238. That was your one good trade. Get yourself 50 points, move on. If you're trading a mini, that's $1,000 right there. You're done for the day. $1,000 average a day, more money than your average person makes. A lot more. Don't listen to these gurus out here that are showing you these accounts that these prop firms gave them, because they're probably, out of 10 accounts, they probably blew like 6 or 7 of them. They're only showing you 1 or 2 that got green, but they're not showing you all the other ones that they blew up. They're only showing you the good trades. How many of them are live streaming, actually taking trades? Well, one, you got FSP out there, Futures Scalper Pros. Um, I mean, and he blows up accounts, but he makes more money than he loses. It's just a business cost for him. Um, Most of these gurus out there do not show you behind the scenes. And I'm not going to show you every day what I make. I mean, personally, it's nobody's business. And if somebody wants to say, "Well, show me what you make, so I know you're valid." Well, I don't care. Take what I'm teaching you and move with it. It's your decision. I don't pay your bills for you. You pay your own bills. You need to learn how to trade. I can sit here and teach you. I can sit here and teach you, and there are going to be people that are taking all these indicators. I'm building out these 3 major, 1 indicator and 2 add-ons. There are going to be people out there that take that and take the information I'm giving to them and make more money than me and out trade me. That's fine. I don't care. I'm happy for them. So right here, we've got a conundrum. You got a conundrum right here because they're trying to break through this area right here. They're trying to break through this area. Okay. They're trying to break through that area. You got that 238 ladder right there sitting there. You've got persistent buying. You've got a stacked buying bounce. We got a candle that closed above that. You got 33 lot that just kicked off. But Yeah, we could break this area easily and then run 50 points. But what you need to think about is if you want to try and do that, if you want to try and do that, and you've already made profits here, do not give back all your profits on a one stinking trade that you're trying to catch runners. If you traded, then go in half, keep keep tight, keep a tight stop. If you got in here on the break of this candle and you're up here right now, uh, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we have persistent buying with the stacked buying balance. You had a 33 lot. So let's say you got in right here and you're right here. That's 8 points. 8 points. We cannot break through. Just go ahead and move to a break even. Do not protect that capital that you just made off of this run right here. Protect that capital. Do not give it back. Capital preservation will keep you in the game to trade again. We got sell and bounce right here that got absorbed. We are definitely bullish right up in this little area right here. We are definitely bullish. The order flow pulse is just kind of nothing's going on. The buy, look at this buy. We have no resting orders there. We got one right there at 444. A little bit at 444. You got some buy-in coming in here. We got to break through the resting orders up in here. You got a 42 lot, but you got a huge wick that just moved down. They're pushing it down. They're pushing that down. You got about 75 lots right here between the 33 and the 42. You got a 75 lot right there, 75 volume area. They're definitely trying to break through. If you made money on this trade, and let's say I took this trade right here. Well, right here in that 42 lot, when we started trading down below, I would have already paid myself very small profits and moved to a break even. You can always get back in. But if you break this right here, you're going down about 25 points. If you made 50 points here, you're going to give half your profits back. If you do not take a stop out right here and we keep trading down, you're going to be giving back half your profits. Personally, with the price action we're seeing today, I'd take my 50-point winner and go home. Take your ball and go home for the day. It's 11 o'clock. We could break this area, but then we got to get through this area right here. We could break, and that's fine. But you also have to understand, look at the higher time frame. Look at a higher time frame from 9:30. Okay, this is what you're trying to trade a breakout. We sold off, consolidated. You're trying to trade a breakout. In order to just trade a breakout, you need very large participation, like 400 lot participation to squeeze that 238 out. You need to squeeze that 238 out. And also, you got everything running against you. We could easily trade from here to here and get 70 points. Yes. But the odds, eh, I've already made my money, so I'm not worried about it. And look at that, we got a nice little squeeze up here. Maybe 561, that's fine. If you took the break of this, which I didn't like it because buyers absorbed. You got buyers right here. You're breaking this right here. You got 42 lot. So if you took the trade, you're already up 30 points. Pay yourself, move to a break even. I didn't trade it just because, for one, I don't like it. I don't like it because we got a 120 lot here. We got 93. We got 238. Everything I'm trading against this. I'm not seeing large participation. And here's the thing, I missed a $500 trade. If I would have gotten in, I missed $500 trade. Do I care? No. There's better trades out there. Because I'm looking at this as a statistical average. We got 120, we got 93, we got 238. Statistical average. Statistical average. Are not the odds are not in my favor. Got a 120 right there, 93, 238. It's not. I'm trading against all of that. Now, what we need to do is I would be trading against all of that. All of that right there, I would be trading against the 123 and 93 and the 238. It's already shown that you've got some big dogs in there that are pushing the market down. So I took my trade and I got 3 trades today and they were winners. So I took my money and I'm done. Now what I could have done is just gotten in light right here and got myself a nice little maybe $200-300 trade on a handful of micros. Yeah, that's great. But I just don't now if we did not have all those large sellers right here at 123, 93, 238, if we didn't have all that and they were just like little pissant contracts that kicked off like 30, 40, something like that, something little pissant stuff, then yeah, I would go in. I would go in for the break of that. Now, if you did trade that break, that's good. You're up 60 points. That's awesome. I did not want like that because for a breakout trade, I need a surge of volume, which you got right here. And then this candle, you had like a delta surge, which is good. That's what you want to see in a breakout. You want to see a surge in the candle. You want to see a delta surge. Look at the delta, at the current delta. We saw it pop from like 50 to like 250. That's a delta surge. That's great. You can get in on that and get yourself a pop. But the problem is, you've already have seen the participations from some institutions because retail traders ain't trading 230, 93, 120. That's institutions. They've already shown you that they're participating. I only see a 90 lot right here for a buy order. I'm not seeing large buys being kicked in. I need support from a big dog. Right here, 238, big dog. Great. That I'm gonna ride the coattails of that big dog right there and get myself 50 points. That's what I did. Boom. Ride the coattails of the big dog. Right here earlier, I tried to get a squeeze of these sellers that got caught. I tried to get the squeeze and I basically made 40 bucks because we had a pop and then I tightened up my stop and I was hoping we'd get a runner. Nope, 40 bucks. Okay, fine. Move on. 46 right there. Uh, I went in kind of small, made myself 300 bucks right there. I'm like, okay, up there, got up here into this resistance area. Did not see no delta surge. I saw the delta moving back down because I'm looking at it down here when I'm in the trade. I'm looking at it and boom, I don't see participation. I'm out. I'm tightening up my stop. I'm out. I see participation from a big dog. This right here, if you want to do one trade a day, this right here, valid trade, squeeze, short squeeze. Boom. Did not work out, but I kept my tight stop because I didn't see the delta surge and we didn't have participation. My philosophy, you either pop or I drop. Okay. So we had a little bounce area right here. And then we had a big dog participation of 238. I'm like, I saw the 37. I'm like, all right, I need something bigger than that. So we got it. We got 238. I didn't get the whole move. I got half of the move. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy with that. But what am I not seeing right in here for me to take a move? I am not seeing large participation. You had a little bit down here. I didn't go in and try to get that pop because, well, during the 5 minute, the VWAP was sloping downwards. It's a counter trend trade. and that's not really big enough for me to counter trend trade that. I need to see more, like 400 shorts being caught down there before you try to get a squeeze on them. So I made 3 trades this morning, and all 3 are green. I've got a funded account that's halfway to the, payout area, which is good. I'm not trading that account anymore. I went over to my other funded, got green on that one. Participation. I'm not seeing large participation. Yeah, we moved. We moved from here to here. That's 80-point winner. That would have been fantastic. On 1 mini, that would have been $1,600. I would have been in payout territory. But do I care about missing this move? No, I don't give a flying crap. Why? Because I got my emotions under control when I'm trading. I know what I'm looking for and I'm going to take it. When I don't see it, I don't take it. If it moves without me, who cares? You got to keep your emotions under control because if you don't, it will drain your account. Now, that 238, if I didn't get in and I missed this 50-point run, yeah, I'd be ticked. I'd be ticked at myself. Why didn't you pull the trigger, you idiot? Uh, I was not thinking. You know, this right here, this is a good trade. Large big dog 238 lot, a seller. You got a little spinning top or a little doji candle right there. So I got in a little bit early. I got in, I had 238. I got in a little bit early. It ran up here. I took slight heat, no problem. But if it breaks this area right here, I'm getting out. I'm done. I'm done because it could shoot back up and blow an account. I'm done. I'm taking my loss because my next winner could be bigger. I know my statistics. I know my stats. Right here. Boom. Right there. Buy and balance. We were right there and I saw that buy and balance and we were moving up and I'm like, yep, I'm ready to take this loss. And then we moved back down. I'm like, ooh, the buy and balance got absorbed. I'm like, oh, and then we started breaking this. I'm like, oh, we good. And then paid myself a little bit here, went down, saw all these buyers, got out the rest. Up in here, I got out of the rest because I saw some buyers coming in. And look what happened. We come back to the entry. On this candle right here, we came back to the entry. So many people are probably holding from here to here, making themselves $1,000, and then it trades up here, and then they see their profits go to zero, and then they're pissed at themselves. And then they see this. Oh, it's retracing back. I'm gonna get my $1,000 back. Oh, I'm into a break. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta pay yourself, people. You gotta pay yourself. You got to pay yourself. I paid myself a little bit in the funded accounts. Probably tomorrow I'll be trading. I got a Tradeify account. I need to trade. That's 150,000 Tradeify account eval that I need to pass. I need 9,000 profit. If I can pass that one, that's good. Never traded with Tradeify, but I did get the account. I got it for free. Um, and I thank the individual for doing that. He will probably not be hearing this. Uh, but I thank the individual for it. Yeah, so we only had really one good trade. I mean, that was a valid trade. The other two that I took, they were kind of like testing the waters, and I knew I was testing the waters, and that's why I kept my stop tight. I, I kept earlier. I kept my stop tight. I tried to get the squeeze on these big dog shorts right there. Tried to get that squeeze. Didn't see the delta surging, so I moved to a +2. Paid myself, pay for the slippage a little bit, and then down here made $300 here. I kept the stop tight because we were running up against these sellers. This was a nice big trade right here, but I went to a handful of micros because the ATR was too high. So I dropped down to trading a handful of micros. ATR right now is at 29, so now I can go back to the mini. When ATR is high, I reduce my contract size. Um, One valid trade right here, 238 got support right there. We got buy and balance, right, buy and balance. They got absorbed, and then we got a break on that, and then you got a 50-point runner. Boom, right down here, you got about 60-point runner. You're not going to get the whole pie from here to here, make yourself 100, 125 points, but can you make yourself 30 to 50 points and be happy for the day? Yes, you can. I didn't take this breakout because, well, we had a delta surge, and that's what I like. Nice green candle and then delta surge from 50 to 270. That was nice. That means it's strong. It could be a good breakout. I did not take this. Why? I need to see participation from big dogs. I need to use them as support. If I would have saw this candle right here surged up, we're right up in this area. We're right up in this area right here. I know very easily we could pop and then sell right back off. I know that very easily. This candle right here, we had a delta surge. Good. Check. Do we have large participation? I'm talking like 100 plus contracts. No. So I don't do it. And I missed the trade. Do I care? No. I just move on. I move on for the day. I move on. I don't give a crap about missing trades. The market's open tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. I've already made 3 trades and um, both of them are green. $40, 300, and then a nice trade on a handful of micros right here. You know, hey, I'm good. So we got some resting orders up here. I don't see a whole lot of resting orders. Let's switch this over to 5. So I added that. I added that last night for the order flow pulse. Minimum volume of 5. Um, we got minimum volume of 5. We got a buy and balance area right there. We got a nice 100 and some volume. The delta's pretty good because the opacity is kind of heavy. When you see the opacity really light, like that 15 right there, when you see the opacity really light, that's not high delta. But when you see a nice dark bubble like this right here, that means high delta. So if you see like 100 volume kick off with the big bubble and it's really solid green, that means there's high delta in there. Eventually, I'm going to be putting the delta profile over here on the right. Eventually, but one thing at a time. I had a performance issue that I had to stick. That I had to fix on this thing. I had to fix a performance issue. So this thing's been running for a couple hours, and let's see. So yeah, I'm able to move it around pretty good. Uh, I think I fixed the performance issue. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you come up here and you do bin size 4, and you see what at the top of the book, what's up there, and then and then you do resting order 2, and you get that nice big solid green. I'm going to tell you all that stuff right there that has to be painted on the screen. That is going to be a performance hit, and you're going to slow the system down. Meanwhile, you will slow the system down. Trust me, I coded it. You'll slow the system down. Don't be trying to look at everything. You'll slow the system down. Resting orders for NASDAQ, I use like 10. You'll have to get your feel for it, but don't be trying to paint a whole bunch of stuff up here uh, because you're just going to slow the system down. And these bubbles are updating within 100 milliseconds. So they're updating a tenth of a second. We got big delta right there for that big bubble. Boom. Okay, so up here we had a buyer. So if you got in here and you saw that buyer, that stacked buying balance get absorbed, you better be taking yourself some profits. Because right here, boom, shooting star candle with the buy and balance right there. We've got a large seller in the previous, because I can look at the profile right there. Those large sellers up there, that's them right here in the bubble profile. And and that buy imbalance got absorbed, and we're moving back down. And that's another scalp that you can take. You can take that scalp. When you move up like this, and you see a buy imbalance and get on the break, you can get in on the break of that, but you got to understand where your stop's at, and you have to be happy with that stop. You're like, okay, if I take a $200 loss, am I okay with that? Yes, then pull the trigger. If I wouldn't do it just because it's a green candle, but this right here, we had a nice run up. We have a buy and bounce area. And then over here in the bubble profile, you had large buyers before, large buyer. You had large sellers before. So you can kind of use them as support. Those large buyers, that's an absorption area. You had a buy and balance of 4 times more buyers than sellers with 3 levels. And you have a buy and balance right there. You can easily get in here, put your stop up there at 25 points. Come down here and maybe get yourself 15 points. That's not very, I mean, that's risk reward's not all that good. No, if I would have played this right here, let's say you get into contracts, you come down here, you see that buy and balance right there, sell half, move to a break even, try to get yourself a runner. I probably would have gotten stopped out right there. Big deal, move on. I know these gurus will tell you, I want a 3-to-1, or I'd take a full stop out. Well, if that's your plan, go for it. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money that way. I don't trade like that. I've been trading the ES and NQ futures before micros even came out. I had to learn capital preservation real quick. Now that these prop firms came out, people can spend like 50, $100. They're thinking they're trading a $50,000 account, and they're only trading a $2,500 account because that's your drawdown. So that's your blow up right there. You're only trading a $2,500 account, and you're slinging around friggin' minis like it's cool. Maybe you pass an account. Maybe you blow up a handful. Who knows? So right here, I don't like this. Buyers absorbed, sellers absorbed. So, like I say, constantly, auction market theory. Market searching for value, values to the upside. Now we're in the consolidation phase. We're in a bounce market. We're going up, down, up, down, up, down. We're in a bounce market. They're trying to find out where the next value is of the NQ. Is it up or is it down? I don't know, but let them decide. We are very small peanuts in this game. Let the big dogs decide. Retail traders are not pushing this market around. BlackRock, Citadel, Goldman, all the big boys, they're the ones that are doing it. Let them tell you where they want to go, and then you pick up the crumbs. I think I looked at it. We're like 5%. Retail traders are 5% of the futures market. You got gurus out there that telling you, well, they're stop hunting you just for liquidity and everything. You know what? Our liquidity is like 5% of the futures market. It's nothing to them. Institutions don't give a flying crap about retail traders. Do you think that this 238 lot, and that's one order right there, 238 sell order, do you think that that person gives a flying crap about moving the market up a little bit to take out, to take, to stop run some longs of retail traders that are 5% of the market? They don't give a flying crap. People just say, oh, I got stopped out because there was a stop run from the institutions and blah, 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 blah. Well, let me put it in a different way. You got stopped out because you were wrong. Admit it. Don't be blaming anybody else. Blame yourself for getting stopped out. Don't be blaming, oh, it was a stop run. That's why I got stopped out. BS. Blame yourself. Take some responsibility. So we've got some resting orders up here. The resting buy orders down there at like 572. Well, we got a little bit right there, not much. So this we can here. Let's see what the ES is doing. Um, I know the minimum volume for the ES. Let's say we do 25 in the resting orders. Let's say resting orders of 25. Tick bin 4 because the ES doesn't trade like a squirrel hyped up on Red Bull like the NQ can sometimes. Let's take a look at the ES. The ES. Take a look at that. Oh wow. Uh, yeah. So the ES, I'm not going to sit there and do that. Resting orders. Let's jump this up to 30. Okay, a little bit more went out. Let's jump it up to 50. Well, we got some 50 resting orders. That's about right. You really don't need to be looking at 10 resting orders and seeing all that. For one, that's going to slow the system down. Okay. Because C sharp has a garbage collection. And when all these objects and your objects, it has to clean up the crap that it has shown. And in the code I'm using, I'm cleaning up, I'm trying to clean up that crap as much as possible. But you want to slow the system down. Look, it's lagging already. Already it's lagging. Resting orders of 50. Okay. You see, now it's not lagging. Okay. We got a tick bin. Tick bin of 2. If you want to see what's at the very top, you can go to tick bin of 4. I don't know. Anything up there? No. See? All right. ES. I just use a merge tick of 1. ES trades very heavy. It's a thickly traded market. ES is very thickly traded. Um, minimum volume of 25. Now, this M volume, minimum volume of 25, that is for the bubbles to appear. Okay, that's for the bubbles to appear. Now, these bubbles are being updated. You see how that bubble grows? That bubble is being grown within 100 milliseconds, a tenth of a second. So that's what that's what it does. Now, this right here, light green. Opacity is light green. That means there's low delta. When you see a bubble, let's see if we can't get a minimum volume. Okay, minimum volume of 25. Let's go back. You see how that it's okay. You see how that changed that bubble right there? That was kind of dark green. That means there's more delta in there. It means it's high delta. So if you get a nice solid green bubble, that means it has high positive delta. That right there, kind of light, that means a low delta right there. If you get a nice solid low delta, low delta, low delta, low. Okay, you saw that solid green bubble that was forming. That means for that area, it was high negative delta. But we have support down in here. You have support down in here. What I need to do, what I want to do in the future for the order flow pulse for this Ninja Trader add-on, what I want to do is take a column right here and put a column right here so the bubbles form in like another second column right here. And these large orders that came around like 50, 41 at 238, it will show up right here. So you can be looking at the order flow pulse. You can be looking at this heat map, and then if you see a large order right here, it would. Well, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It will show up here on the left to show you, hey, in the past, have a column right here, and in the past it says, okay, where were the major buy orders of like 50 or more? Okay, it would show down here. Then I want to have a column on the right side right here and show, okay, you have the heat map here, but how many resting orders are there at 68? At 6,800? I don't know. But if it's like 100 resting orders, I want to be able to show like a little pill form, kinda like I do on my DOM. I wanna show a little pill form up there, a little pill, paint a little pill with the background of, like, red or something, kinda low, and then have the text in there that says, like, 100. Or a text in there that says, like, 200, 300. So you know there's a large resting order up there. And large resting order, you'll eventually be able to put into a settings to be able to. I only wanted to see a pill when there's, like, 200 resting orders in an area. Well, it'll show you a little pill with the text of, like 222 or something, but that's in the future. Um, but yeah, the ES, you can make some pretty decent money off the ES. Let's go back, resting orders, here, let's go 20 for resting orders and minimum volume of, like, 5. Come over here to the NQ, kinda maybe 5's a little too much, maybe 2, maybe 3. Minimum volume for that bubble to show will be 3, that seems pretty decent. I mean, 5, let's see what 5 does. 5 kinda does it pretty decent. We also have live pulse. This shows you the bubbles update within 100 millisecond. Um, you have live pulse right here of a minute. So if you switch over to a minute, let's switch over to a minute right here. This right here will show you the minute. Okay. And you can't scrunch this down. So I haven't coded that in yet because this whole window I had to build myself in C sharp for NinjaTrader. But like large resting orders, let's the tick then. I don't know. Let's do this too, maybe. Here, let's clear this out. It's too much crap. Um, like a minute. This right here, it will trade a minute, and then it'll just flip back over. Like right here, we have some support little resting orders right there. It's lighter, has nice old light opacity. Um, you don't. There's kind of a black area where there's no resting orders. But this will form a 1 minute bar. And eventually I want to have it be 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15, and 5 seconds. So if you really don't want the live pulse, you can just go like, okay, just 5 seconds. And every 5 seconds, a bar will will show. And then you'll be able to see right here. Um, just because of me, I probably trade off of that. I don't really use a heat map or anything like this or book map. I just trade off the DOM because when I traded with Jigsaw trading, that's all I used was a DOM. That's all I traded off of was a DOM. Now I do have my DOM up. My DOM is up. Um, it's ready. It's a prototype. It's for download. I have my DOM up here, and I kind of like that. Um, I don't know how long. I mean, so the history that it's getting is 417,000 ticks for the history. You can clear it out. Uh, I like trading off a dime. When 930 rolls around, I'll hit clear, and then it will show me the point of control at 930, and then it'll show me the delta. And I like trading off this more than I do like a heat map like this. I like trading off of this because I've been doing it for so many years. I can just strictly trade off of a DOM. I can have a 5 minute for context, and then I can just strictly trade off of a DOM. But that's just me. And these numbers right here, they will fade away. I think after 30 seconds, the opacity will get lighter and they'll kind of fade away. We have resting orders up here. Now, a little dot will show up on the DOM like that 32. You see how the color changed? 33 up here, how that row right there is a different color. It just tells you it's kind of a light color. It tells you that there's a resting order of 30 or more. Uh, I think I need to switch this. Yeah, there's more work I need to do for the DOM. Also, I need to put execution buttons down here. But Okay, so you got some resting orders right here. You can strictly trade off of this. What I would like to do is get this down to like a 30-second. Because I hyper scalp sometimes. I will trade when I'm 100% physically and mentally, and I feel like it. I will go to a 30-second chart and I will hyper scalp the crap out of it. uh, because I've got hotkeys set up that I've written in NinjaTrader. I'm eventually going to have them set up for the DOM. Uh, when we get in and I see a delta surge and we got some buy orders on the DOM and the pace of the tape. I'm not looking for the whole move from here to here. What I'm looking for is just maybe try to get myself three or 4 points, take a little bit off the table, move to a break even, try to get a runner. I will DOM. I'll use a DOM for that and try to hyper scalp. I'll do that all day long. I'll make like 50 trades in about 3 hours. Market conditions have to be good, and I have to be physically and mentally 100%. But what I need to do is we can tick bend this. You can tick bend that, and that will tick bend them bubbles too to 1 point. Kind of merge it down to 1 point. It's a little hard to read. I need to figure out how I want to do this. What I'm thinking about, let's stick bend this to like 2, maybe. What I would like to do is somehow figure out how I want to merge some of these bubbles. I mean, you can come over here and do resting orders to a minimum volume. You can come over here and do a minimum volume of like 20. That's only going to show you bubbles of minimum volume 20, then go to 50. That'll show you some pretty that'll show you some pretty good stuff. Because you know this column's only 1 minute. You can trade off of this. You got support right there. You trade the break. You got some nice solid green bubbles for delta, and you just delta scalp. You get a delta surge because it's nice solid green and it keeps surging. Take a little bit off table, move to a break even. If you got nice support on the heat map, you can wait for a pullback and get in on that. However you want to do it. So in this candle right here, we got a little support right here. This right here is a little bit darker, so you got some nice support down there around, I don't know, 680, something like that. Let's see if this gets filled up in here. It needs to be a minimum volume of 50. So we got 50 sell. We got filled. Now here's the thing: if there's sellers up in here with the minimum bubble volume of 50, if they're not getting rewarded and they're not being able to break through, then that 57 volume right there, 57, is a low negative delta because the opacity is real light. That's a little bit heavier delta than it kind of got light. If it cannot break this area right here, they're getting absorbed. The sellers are getting absorbed. They need to break. They need to break 24,600. They need to break that area and start moving this down. Because right now they're getting absorbed by the buyers. And let's go to like, 365. Don't think so. Let's go to 25. Okay, so you go to 25. As you can see, we had 42. Not a whole lot of participation because these green bubbles are not large. They need to be large and in charge. Okay, we got another minute, but we're not trading a minimum volume of 50 to even show a bubble. It's light volume. So we're ticking up on light volume, but you got some support right here, and you got sellers that got absorbed. Now, can you scalp yourself 4 or 5 points? Absolutely. You can get yourself 5 points, take half off, move to a break even. Keep doing that about 50 times a day, and you're good to go. Got a nice payout. I do not trade off of a heat map. I would really like to um, kind of train myself to trade off of this. Maybe I just need to take an eval and just try to scalp trades off of this. We have 29 with pretty decent delta, but not a lot of volume. You need to see support right up in here, a heavy support. Now, right here, you don't have a whole lot, so um, you could have gotten yourself probably 2, 4, maybe 4 or 5 points on this little move right here. Once you break this, you could have gotten yourself maybe 3, 4 points, 4 or 5. I'm not sure. You would have paid yourself a little bit. Do a little hyper scalping. But what I really need to do is switch this from like a minute. I need to switch this to like 30 seconds, 15 and 5 seconds. That would be fun, scalping off of a 30-second chart like this. Mm, that's another thing I can code in. Like you can kind of basically see the candle, kinda, maybe. You can like visually try to form the candle yourself. But I think what I could really do with this is these sellers right here got absorbed. You see that area right there? Those are some pretty good resting orders, and they got absorbed, and you're kind of moving up. Um, Target would probably be right here up at about 644. Um, what I could do is I could take a hollow candle and kind of form a candle and try to make a candle, like maybe just have like white background, maybe yellow background for, I don't know, something like that. What I could do is, this is the 1 minute. What I could do is try to form a hollow candle. So it kind of gives you a good area where you can, if you like trading candlesticks, you'll be able to trade the heat map, and then you'll be able to know and be able to read inside of there where the high delta is. Uh, This is this is too much. Let's go back to 50. So we're going back to 50. You got some sellers. You got 66 volume in there. You got some support down here. You got a nice dark opacity right there. Uh, but those sellers got absorbed, and you could have gotten yourself maybe 4 or 5 points, a little scalp area right there. What I could do is code in a candle where you see a hollow candle, so you kind of know where the open, high, low, close is. But I can code this. I just can't really trade off of a heat map just because I haven't done it. I've traded off a DOM, like a DOM here. This is the DOM that I developed for NinjaTrader. I need to put the execution buttons in there, but this is what I'm so used to trading off of is the volume profile, the delta profile right here, the resting orders, and then executed orders. Like right here at 605, you had a hundred sell kickoff, 184. Those were 500 sell. Those were like large orders that got kicked off. Um, yeah, we're not really doing much. So you got the minute map. Um, you got the drop down. I'm going to put a minute in there. I'm going to put 30 seconds, 15, and maybe 5 second. I'm going to see if I can't get that done this week. Uh, Here, let's go to the live impulse. Let's go to a minimum volume of 5. Minimum volume for a bubble to show within 100 milliseconds will be 5 minimum volume. Resting orders. For the NQ is not thickly traded, so maybe you want to go 10. Kind of show the resting orders. Maybe go 5. Show the resting orders right there. When it's slow, you can do the resting orders. When it's a nice moving day, you can probably go up to like 10 resting orders. But that's going to show you less. You have to kind of play around with this. And the tick bin, if you go to 1, that's going to show you there. Tick bending, it tick merges it. So if you go 4, that's a whole point right there. So it's just tick merging for a whole point for like the bubbles and then the resting orders up here. And you got to be careful about the resting orders. If you take this to 2, you're going to get a lot of resting orders, but the problem is you're putting a lot of strain on the system because all this has to be painted, and it's gonna slow the system down. So I recommend, because right here, it's kinda it's a little bit I was able to type a little bit faster. It's just the system, C sharp, has to garbage collect and clean all this crap up. Plus, this right here is painting a lot of stuff on this window. Now I'm caching a lot of this and pre pre-calculated the colors and stuff. I'm caching a lot of this, and it's able to move around pretty decently. So the system is not being strained too much. But if you do like resting orders of like one, and then it's like, how come my system's running slow? Well, because if you go resting orders one, you got to paint all that crap, and that's going to slow down the bubbles being created. It's going to slow down a lot of stuff. Uh, Bookmap can possibly do that, but they have full control over their system. I can only control what the ecosystem of NinjaTrader. Okay, see how fast the bubbles are being created now? We only did resting orders of 5. And this is for the volume for the resting orders. It doesn't need to be high. You really don't want it to be high. I mean, resting orders of 10, that means that right there, that was a resting order of 10 or more. That's pretty good. It just gives you nice, valid, solid areas to trade off of. And the responsiveness of the bubbles being created within 100 milliseconds. That's what you want. Now it's tick marged to 4. Let's go back to 2. Tick margin it to 2. So it's only tick margin to like quarter, half, quarter, half, quarter, half. Like quarter, half, and 75, then whole. It just merges at 2 ticks. So right here, large green volume bubble. Yep. Large green volume bubble, not much delta. This bubble, large with more solid green, that means it has higher delta. I don't think Bookmap has that. At least that's what AI told me. Because I asked it, I said, what could I do that Bookmap doesn't have? And that wasn't my idea. Like that 26 right there, that nice solid green bubble, that's high delta. When it's kind of like you can see through it, that's kind of low delta. That wasn't my idea. That was AI. That was their idea. It says Bookmap doesn't have it, so of course you got to take that with a grain of salt because AI lies to you like a stinking politician would. It's called hallucination. AI hallucination. AI, if it doesn't have, it's kind of like a politician. See, if a politician doesn't have the right answer, they'll run their mouth and shoot it off so good that it sounds good. That's called politician hallucination. Now, with AI hallucinates too because if it can't find the right answer, it'll kind of make one up, even though it's wrong. So AI and the politicians are kind of the same. Oh, when will order flow pulse be ready to test? I got the system locked down pretty good. I've got it locked down pretty good. The performance stuff is there. I'm able, as you can see, I'm able to move the chart around pretty good. I'm able to move it around pretty good. I had a problem with that. I wasn't able to move it around, so I just had some threading issues I had to take care of. But what I'm thinking about is having this released. I can give you a better answer probably Thursday or Friday, but this is what I'm shooting for, Sunday Sunday at 6 p.m. before, let's say Sunday at 5 p.m., you can download it. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to new and then go like OFB Pulse. You'll see it in the new menu. When you click on new and you click on OF Pulse, it'll show you there. And then it'll have this. I'm hoping by the end of the week. I mean, I could compile it right now. I could compile it right now and throw it up on the site. I need to make a section for the site for you to download it and then throw it up on the server. I could compile it and throw it up there. Um, I think what I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to put the license key stuff in there. Uh, it's hard coded. It's going to be hard, like the DOM. DOM is just hard coded with the free license key. Eventually, when this thing goes mainstream and the indicator and the two add-ons, when they come out of beta and it's not going to be free to use, then that license key will go away. And but for right now, everything's free until I can get everything to a pretty good solid state. Uh, but I'm really hoping for next week for everybody to start testing this. It's not a bookmap replacement. Bookmap is a huge desktop app. They make multi-million dollars a month. They've got a team of engineers. I'm one person. I got a wife and a kid. I'm one person. I'm trying to trade for a living as well because uh, I've been a software engineer for over 15 years. That was large Delta that popped in. Uh, so, but yeah, I'm hoping to get this out so people can start testing it next week. And once it's pretty solid and I get some pretty good feedback, then I'm going to go ahead and throw some ads out there on YouTube and try to get more people using it. Now, if Ninja Trader, if you're listening to this, you need to hire me as a software engineer because I'll make your system friggin' fantastic with the stuff I want to do. And if you do want to hire me, I'm not cheap. I'm a senior, so I'm not cheap, but you get your money's worth. Um, I was having an issue. I need to fix it. I think I was having an issue. Like if we switch over to a minute, yeah. See, if we switch over to a minute chart, it's not showing the asks. When I clear it out, it's not showing. I need to fix that. There was something I put in there last night that kind of screwed it up. I don't know how it did it. But with the live pulse, it's working. So I got to figure that out. Once I figure that out, I think it's good because I put the minimum volume in there. That was already in there. The resting order, I added that last night so people can change that. Uh, because before the histogram would only update like every minute for the live pulse, and that wasn't good. Now the live pulse is actually updating with the 100 millisecond bubbles. And you can change your resting orders if you really want to see what's up there. You can do like 20, you can do like 5, see what the resting orders are like. You can, if you want to see what's higher up in the book map, I'm going to say book map. If you want to see what's higher up in the books, you can go to tick merge 4 for the NQ and then tick merge it and you'll see. You see up here around 784, you got some uh, slightly large resting orders up there. You got one down here at like 632 for the buy, but I really don't care what's really way up there. I mean, I might care what's up there, but we have to get through all this area first. Like if I have this tick march to this right here to just one. So for every tick it shows me. If I want to see what's higher right now, I can only basically see what's at 716, 718. And if I want to see what's higher up in the book, I'll just go to 2. You're like, okay, so up here around 730, around 7 and a quarter, we got some areas up there. Go a little bit higher. So up here at 750s, we're not really seeing much. I'm like, okay. So then, like 699, you got a little large rusting order right there for the ask. You can kind of see what's up there, but who cares about what's way up here? And that's going to slow the system down slower. So I'll just look at 2, see what's going on. Depends on what instruments you're trading. I mean, the NQ trades like a hyped up squirrel in a gallon of Red Bull. Uh, yep. See, we got them orders filled. got them orders filled. Not there, but we got them orders filled up there. Came up here and tested them. No, we're coming back here. It's hard for me. I've really never, I never used Bookmap. Um, and maybe what I'll do once I get this release and I got some support coming in for the indicator and the two add-ons, maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get a subscription of Bookmap and actually use it. See what they have. You know, what kind of features does it have that I like or what other people would like, and then try to code it in here. Now, my long-term goal, we're not seeing very much minimum volume. We're going into 11:55, so I'm going to go to 2, minimum volume of 2 per bubble. So when you're in the morning hours from like 9:30 to 11, you could probably do that to 5 for the NQ. Once you start getting into lunch hour, you kind of want to lower the minimum volume for the bubbles to appear. If you're not seeing anything, because if you do 5, you're not going to see very much. As you can see, they stop forming. Okay, there you got 1, 5. I mean, if you go to 1, that's a little too much, but it's there if you want to use it. You can go to 3, so only 3 shows up, but I have 2. And the bubbles are going to be updated. A trade has to kick off within 100 milliseconds for the bubble to appear. But yeah, if I can get some support for this, once I release it and get it out of beta, I mean, I'm going to be honest with people. This ain't going to be free. I didn't spend hours of coding this stuff and get it out there and then just release it for free. Um, but it's not going to be that expensive. I'm going to keep it really low because most new traders don't have $100 to be spending on a tool in a trading platform of like $50. Now you're at like maybe $150. And then all of a sudden you need level two. So maybe you're at $20 there, $25 there. And then you got to pay for a couple evals. I mean, before you know it, you're spending $300 a month. And a new trader can barely break even. Most of the time they lose money, but if they break even, they're good. But then you gotta pay for the tools you're using. It's just crazy. So what I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, and this is back and forth. What I'm thinking is for a whole year of getting the indicator and the DOM and the order flow pulse for a whole year, what I'm thinking is maybe $150 for a whole year. That's like $12 a month. That's what I'm thinking. Or if you just want to go month to month, then like $25 a month for this. Now, that's for everything. That's $25 a month for everything. If you're a member of the site, that's $25 a month for every single thing that I code for now and into the future. You get this order flow bars indicator. You get the DOM. No, yeah. You get the DOM. Thought I clicked something else. You get the DOM. You get that. You get the order flow pulse. That would be you get like all 3 of them, like $25 a month or 150 for a whole year, which comes out to $12 a month. I want to keep it cheap because most new traders don't have the money to be spending $300 a month for stuff. They just don't have it. And I'm not trying to compete with Bookmap because that's they got a team of developers and but if all you're going to get this for and use this for is for the live pulse. Well, say again. Oh yeah, for Rust. Yeah, can you send me an email? I'm right in the middle of something. I'll be able to speak in about 2 hours. Yeah, can you send me an email? I'm right in the middle of something. Yep, yep. Just shoot me an email, and I'll look at it and get right back to you. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm right in the middle of something. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Yep. All right. Yeah. I mean, $150 for like a whole year. $25 for like a month if you just want to go month to month. Yeah, a full Ninja setup session. Yeah, I really need to spend the time this weekend to really do that. So that our screens match yours and we can follow along as you trade live. Yeah, I mean, I'm, yeah, this ain't a signal service. What I'm going to be doing is teaching you actually how to trade. If you know how to trade, then you can use tools for yourself. Um, but yeah, I really need to spend the time to sit down and be like, take a chart. Just take a plain simple chart. Go to NQ and then click that. You want to go to text marker. Do not plot, and then get a basic plain chart. And then I'll go from there, setting up order flow bars. I'll set that up. Show you all the settings I do for that, and I need to go over a session of how I like to trade this stuff. This is a valid trade. That was a pretty decent trade, but I just don't trade after 11:30. I really just don't like doing that. I just don't like trading after 11:30. I mean, you had a 63 lot kickoff that was pretty high, and you didn't have any area up in here, any large sellers to stop you, and you had a buy and bounce, but still, it was half the candles, and it was down here. I like to see the 63 lot kickoff right up in this area with the buy and balance right up here. Because where's your support? Where's your support? If you get in here, your support's way down here. I mean, heck, that's 25 points. That's like $500. But then you get if your support's, like, right here, maybe you can get maybe 15, 20 point stop, and then you come up here, see that 30 lot kickoff, and then they start losing it, and then you get out for about 500 bucks. Um, quick scalps, people, quick scalps. Pay yourself. Get in, like, a couple contracts, see that 30 lot, they're losing that 30 lots losing it, they're trading below, sell half, move your stop up tight because participation is not here. I'm not seeing persistent, persistent buying, any dots in there in those hollow candles. I'm not seeing persistent buying. Or you can look at the heat map over here and be like, okay, I got support is moving up. I'm not that good at trading off of this. I mean, there'll be people that will better than me. I trade off of Dom, to be quite honest, but that's what I've done for years. I traded with Jigsaw Trading. That's an awesome platform. In the future, if I get big enough support for all of this, if I get a big enough support once I release this, and I'm talking about in the future. Let's say I release this and we've got like a few hundred people that that supports this, that likes the development of it. I'm going to keep developing it, and then what I'm going to do is for people that don't have NinjaTrader or don't want to use NinjaTrader, what I'm going to do in the future, once I have support for all of this, what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this order flow pulse right here, and it's going to be its own desktop app. And then, but the thing is, I'll have to code every single thing myself because right now I'm using uh, the backing of NinjaTrader and how they get the orders, and so I'll have to code my own connections for like Rhythmic. I'll probably start with Rhythmic to be in the very beginning, then I'll move over to Tradeovate because some people trade with Rhythmic and Tradeovate. Those will be the top, and then the third one maybe with CME uh, data connection. But I'll have to read the docs and then get all the connections and stuff. But I would like to have a desktop app of the order flow pulse and be able to connect to Rhythmic, the very first one, to be able to test it. So that way it's out of the NinjaTrader ecosystem. That way it would be out of the NinjaTrader ecosystem. And if someone wants to use TradingView to trade, but they want to use used order flow pulse, they can do that. They have its own desktop app. But in order for me to do that, I kind of need support for this. But that's what I'm looking to do in long term. Long term. We had a lot of buying up in here. What do we have? Not much right here, but we had some buying up here. We had some sellers right here that tried to push the market down. Nice big delta, negative delta, but then it got absorbed and we kind of scalped. I mean, you could have scalped it for like a point or two, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't trade off of a heat map. It's mainly for other people. But it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to have to shut it down, get something to eat. I think the wife is cooking something. I don't know what she's doing, but she usually feeds me at lunch, or I either make make it myself. Um, yeah, I'm not seeing much going on. We really had some decent trade. This was a decent trade right here. That was a decent trade. I just didn't get in it because I didn't see any large participation. The 33 and the 42. I didn't see any large participation. Plus, I already made my money on 3 trades. And I didn't want to give it back, and any of it back whatsoever, and I was like, I just didn't feel it. Did I miss this move? Absolutely. Am I mad about it? No, I don't give a crap. I missed a move, big deal. Who cares? Tomorrow's another day. I'll make another trade. Control your emotions, and you should be good. And right here, this area. Okay, so right here, this area. One little lesson, real quick, and then I'm going to go eat. Uh, this area right here. Okay, market consolidates, it kind of auctions around, then tries to find value. It searches for value up here. We have some participation up here, little auction going on, up, down, up, down, up, down. We got some buyers up in here. We got some sellers up in here. We got some buyers up in here. And then all of a sudden it wanted to find the value to the upside. We had a large buyer right there with the stacked buying balance. You could have gotten in maybe on the break of that candle, or you get in early with one contract to get in on the break of that candle, and you can do get a break of that candle, and your cost average would be down in here. Once you see that 30 lot right there, not get rewarded, and we start trading back down, you get out for about 30 points. One contract on the mini is $600. 2 contracts, $1,200 in one stinking trade. Makes in about a minute, you make yourself about $500-600 be done for the day. So that's what I see right there, and also what I'm seeing up here is buyers right here that got absorbed. We got a seller right here that's trying to push it down. But not much is going on. It's 12 o'clock. I don't trade after 11:30. I don't trade after 11:30. I don't care if I made money or I lost money. If I lost money, it's a small loss, and if it's 11:30, I'm done for the day. I'll take my loss and be done. So I will be back at it at 9:15 tomorrow. Uh, we'll see what goes on. I will talk to you later. Bye.